Hello everyone. Today we will be explaining the excavation construction process. Excavation is a step of removing soil or rock at designated locations, which can be applied to tower, anchor, and ramp wall foundational excavations. Excavation steps can be found on page 117 of the B2P Bridge Builder Manual. This construction skill is crucial to the bridge construction process to prepare the area for future abutment construction on the suspended bridge. The tools needed to prepare for excavation are measuring tape, level, string line, automatic level and tripod, filly rod, plumb bob, and spray paint. And for the excavation process itself, the tools you will need include excavation bars, picks, shovels, machetes, hammers, carpentry nails, wheelbarrows, and buckets. Excavation poses a major safety concern on a bridge site. Therefore, PPE must be worn at all times, including hard hats, eye protection, face masks or coverings, gloves, long sleeves and pants, and steel-toed boots. During excavation, be mindful of where other workers are, as they may cause striking hazards when using tools such as shovels and picks. The materials and ejected spoils should be at least 1 meter away from the edge of excavation to avoid falling or rolling back into the excavation. It can be helpful to designate an excavation perimeter to better prevent spoils falling back into the pits. If the excavation depth is greater than 1.5 meters, sloping or benching should be applied to all sides of an excavation according to OSHA standards. The recommended benching dimension is 1 meter deep by 1 meter wide, while sloping can be dug to a maximum of 45 degrees. Benching mitigates the chance of the surrounding walls caving into the pit and provides easy evacuation routes. When excavating rocks, extra safety precautions should be taken, including but not limited to wearing eye protection and hard hats at all times. If a jackhammer is needed, respiratory and hearing protection should be used by all individuals on site. Consult with the jackhammer manufacturer for additional safety requirements. Individuals involved with excavation should be wearing the following personal protective equipment, or PPE. Sturdy, closed-toe footwear, such as steel-toed boots, safety glasses or goggles, which are not a replacement for normal glasses, gloves, a long-sleeve top and full-length trousers, and hard hats. In addition, before excavating, make sure that members cover up any existing wounds to ensure that they do not become dirty or become infected. To prepare for each excavation, remove any vegetation or tree roots. Once this is complete, begin to mark where excavations will be happening, ensuring that all excavations are properly set with respect to the center line, and where spoils will go, ensuring that they are at least 1 meter back from the excavations. Mark these excavations with stakes, spray paint, and/or other visible markers. Once marked and checked, excavation can begin. Make sure that benching has been marked and is being completed while excavating, as benches should be usable throughout the duration of the excavation. The first excavation is the foundation at the front of the abutment. The foundation excavation must be center and square with your center line.
One way to ensure your excavation is center and square with your center line is to hang a plumb bob from the center line and use this to verify or begin your measurements.
The second excavation is the anchor area. The anchor excavation shall be parallel to the foundation and be center and square with the center line.
When going beyond the foundation to measure out the excavation for ramp walls and anchor, we want to make sure we are not using the ground, which is more inexact. We want to measure from existing hard points like already built tiers or towers or benchmarked points with the auto level.
Use proper benching if applicable. It is typical for benches immediately surrounding the anchor to be a bit greater than 1 meter to allow the soil to serve as a form, but you must consult with your design engineer in charge to ensure that this is okay for your bridge. The third excavation is ramp walls between the foundation and anchor excavations. These excavations will hold the walls that support the ramp up to the bridge and provide resistance between the anchor and foundation. The fourth excavation is the cable area, which is the area where the bridge cables will be going through to the anchor. Remember that in situ soil beneath the cable locations should be undisturbed to increase resistance between the tiers and anchor. Repeat these 4 excavations on the other side of the river. If the rock is too hard to be removed by excavation bars or picks, a rock pick, chisel and hammer, or jackhammer could be used instead. In some situations, dynamite may be required to clear rock layers. EIA will likely identify this need ahead of time. If this is the case, contact EIA and plan to have professionals blast the rock. At the end of each excavation, check to ensure that the excavation is of proper depth and even level. Compact the bottom area by stomping or compacting posts. If you are digging in loose soil, or if the excavation depth is greater than 1.5 meters, sloping or benching should be applied. The recommended benching dimension is 1 meter deep by 1 meter wide, while sloping should be dug to a maximum of 45 degrees. These can reduce the chance of the walls collapsing into the pit and allow for easy exit and evacuation when needed. Benching is preferred for anchors, foundations, and walls as the walls provide a natural formwork, but appropriate decisions should be made in the field. If your team decides to use sloping on excavations, use the following formula to determine where the slope excavation should start. Cutback distance H equals 1 times the depth V. Remember that the beginning of the cutback distance begins at the toe of the slope and not at the center of the trench. Retaining walls may be necessary in locations where excessive excavation is required behind abutments, which would become unstable if left alone. Retaining walls may be composed of gabion baskets, timber, dry stone, traditional masonry walls, and cast-in-place concrete. Dry stone retaining walls are preferable as they require only local materials and are constructed with the least additional cost. Timber wall designs are also readily available but require subsurface drainage. Your design engineer in charge and/or EIA staff will notify your team if they believe retaining walls will be necessary for your bridge. For more design and required dimension details, please refer to page 29 in Volume 2 of the B2P Bridge Builder Manual. For excavation, 3 main aspects of quality controls should be checked. First, excavation dimensions and elevations should follow design drawings and remain within the design tolerance. Second, monitor groundwater intrusion, and, if necessary, water drainage or extraction should be implemented to avoid collapse. Third, the soil's bearing capacity should be checked to prevent collapse. If there are weak soils or large boulders are uncovered on site, your design engineer in charge must be informed. That wraps up how to do excavations. As always, more information can be found in the B2P Bridge Builder Manual. Thank you for watching.